Good students, welcome back from the short break. Today, our subject is agri and the topic is weed. Under this weed, we are going to look at the objectives of this. The objective, we are going to look at the meaning of weed, and characteristics of weeds. Meaning of weeds and characteristics of weeds. What is weed? What is weed? Weed is a plant growing where it is not wanted. So weed is a plant growing where it is not wanted. Weed are not the plant that we plant ourselves. They are not the plant that we make heaps to plant, but they grow in the place where we don't want them. They grow naturally on their own. So that is weed. Even if you check your compound, you see some weed growing, maybe at the edge of the compound of the fence or the building or car park. Even in interlock, even the compound that is well interlocking, you see that weed will be growing out from a little space from the word interlock, growing. What? Do we need that weed? No. They are unwanted plants. So that's why I say weed is a plant growing where it is not wanted. And also, it is usually strong and healthy. It is usually strong and healthy. So these people we are talking about are strong. They are strong and healthy and can overgrow value plants. So I want to talk about the weed that grow in the world in our farmland. So weed is a plant growing where it is not wanted. It is usually strong and healthy. You don't need to put fertilizer on it. You don't need to add anything to it, but it grows very well on its own without adding all these things to it. And this, it may destroy the lifespan of the plants that we planted. So they grow in an unwanted place. They grow in the farmland because we don't want them, but they just grow there. Now, let's look at the characteristics of weed. Characteristics of weed. What are the characteristics of weed? 1. Persistence. So, weed, one of the characteristics of weeds is persistence. That is, many weeds have the ability to remain in the ground throughout the year. That's they persist, they live, they continue living throughout a year. Some can even live for 2 years. That is the one we have annually, isn't it? We have annually and so on. So they live like that. So weeds have the ability to remain in the ground throughout the year. weed have the ability to live or to remain in the ground throughout the year. So we have the ability to remain in the ground throughout the year. That is what persistence. And let me show you the example of weed. Let me show you the example of weed that grow just like that. You can see this is weed. You can see that it is what? It is a weed. It's not what we planted. It just grew on its own. If you cut this weed this year, next year it will still grow from that particular place. You can see some example of weed. This also is a weed. It is what? A weed. So, secondly, they have high regenerative high regenerative ability. That is, some weed grow very fast. That is high regenerative ability. They grow very fast and cover the land very quickly. If you plant a maize in a farmland, before the maize starts growing, the weed will cover the land. So it's like for you to quickly weed it out. So they have high regenerative ability. Some weed grow very fast and cover the land very quickly. This is because they are easily propagated through stolon. Some weed grow very fast. They grow very fast and cover the land. And cover the land quickly. So this was high regenerative ability. And the third one is high reproductive. High reproductive. The third characteristic of weed is high reproductive. High reproductive capacity. So the third characteristic of weed is high reproductive capacity. So they do what? Weed produce fruit and seeds. They produce fruit and seed, which easily came and spread all over the world, the place. That is weed. The weed produce fruit and seed. If you look at those weeds, you see that they have some weed, some seed, and fruit. And they are easily carried and spread all over the place. And how can they be carried and spread all over the place? They are carried by man, animals, and water. Even weed carry them all over. So that is why they spread. That is, they want high reproductive capacity. So I will give you assignments to work on it. That is, you are to what? Write some characteristics of weed. Assignment. Write 5 characteristics Characteristics of weed. Thank you. See you in the next class.